Hi, this is Hamada Zahawi, founder and CEO of Right Track Admissions, an admissions consulting company. Now, if you haven't been to our channel before, get ready for an unfiltered account of exactly how to get into your top choice program, how to secure funding, and how to succeed both as a student and as a professional. And if you haven't done so already, hit the big red button below to subscribe to get the latest content from Right Track Admissions, as well as our social media handles conveniently located below this video. Today we're going to talk about how to choose the extracurricular activities that will make you shine as a college applicant. When thinking about the activities you want to choose, the first thing I would say is think about what you're passionate by. And that's important for two reasons. Number one, if you're passionate by the activity that you're choosing, you're going to want to do it more. You want to get more involved in it. If you just do and you're like, well, I think it sounds good, you're going to not take it seriously. You're not going to really put everything into it. And the more you put into that activity, the higher you go up in terms of leadership, the more you think out of the box, become more meaningful, more authentic, and better in terms of the story and what you're basically relaying to the college that you're applying to. Choose activities that are really centered around your career pursuits and what you want to do. For example, you want to do medicine, so volunteer or work in a elderly community or in a hospital setting, shadow a doctor, right? If you're interested in advocacy work, maybe do some work with immigration and so forth. So think about what you want to do later on and try to have an activity around that, because it provides you with that continuum that the schools want to see. I want to become a doctor. I have done these activities. I'm pursuing, pre-med at school, and I'm going to become a doctor afterwards, right? So think about that continuum. So the third point you want to be thinking about, if we've already talked about passion, we've talked about your career, something you really want to be thinking about, and schools will always be thinking about this and looking for this in their candidates, is community service. Don't ignore that. It's so important, whether you're an international student or a US student. It is so imperative that as part of the activities that you choose for college, there has to be some element that's giving back to others, giving to the community, right? Some sense of altruism. It is so imperative for your ability to show that you have a sense of compassion, that you are tolerant, that you work well with others, okay? And that really is showcased when you're thinking about the activity that is in some way around and thinking about the community, right? The community is so imperative in terms of the activities you take and giving back to that community. The fourth factor is do not go a mile wide and an inch deep. It's a saying that is said around the world. You don't want to take on 10, 15 activities but very subsurface. You want to take an activity or two, maybe maximum three, that you go a mile deep and only an inch wide, but go deep in it. Really get passionate by it, really dig into what that activity can offer you, right? Because if you do that, the school will see that you genuinely care about that activity. You genuinely want to do good in that activity. You want to rise in that activity. You want to be the best at that activity, whether it's a sport or a skill or community or leadership or whatever it may be, right? So go a mile deep and an inch wide in what you choose to do. That is very imperative. Okay. The fifth point I want to mention is do not neglect your summer activities, right? I know COVID has completely destroyed a lot of people's summer dreams and what they wanted to do, but it's imperative that you focus during the summers and during your breaks to take on activities. Don't be complacent. Don't Netflix and chill. I've always said, be proactive about life, because if you're not, you won't have those experiences that make you shine. And you can bet your competition is doing something over the summer. So make sure you're proactive during the summer or during your breaks, okay? And I can tell you this as a quick side note, quite a few people are thinking about taking a gap year right now. And if you're deciding to take a gap year, even think about all I'm talking about in terms of the activities, and think about what you could be doing during that gap year that will make you even a better student, so that you can come back and hit the ground running and really maximize that, whether it's professional pursuits, starting something new, taking on activities that really help you in terms of what you want to do for graduate school or later on in life, right? So think about those activities and even think about the gap year. Now, let me give you the final call to action, okay? The call to action for you is write down those main activities that we talked about, talking about your passion, your career, thinking about the volunteer services, okay? Think about those areas and write down those major points or activities that you really think you would want to do right now at this point in your life, and basically find a point of contact for that and start reaching out to them. I can tell you, just literally in the last couple of weeks, we had somebody come to us, talk to us about right track admissions, and now they've got an internship. And it all started just by a LinkedIn message. Don't underestimate the power of LinkedIn and just reaching out to people, showing that you genuinely want to give back and you genuinely want to help. Even if it's an unpaid internship, it's a great start. That could be paid and that could really help you down the way. So let's quickly repeat what we were talking about. Choose an activity that you're passionate by. Choose an activity that aligns with your career pursuits. Choose an activity that has volunteer activities or something that has a volunteer community-oriented spirit in it. Choose an activity that goes or several activities that go a mile deep and a couple of inches wide so that you can really get the most out of it, okay? And make sure that you don't squander your breaks or your summers. Really maximize those. Now, I really hope that was helpful to you. I really hope that gets you on the right track to success in terms of the activities you choose and really getting you to be the best candidate possible for college. In the meantime, as always, stay safe, stay sane, and stay connected.